I would expect them to kind of experiment versus this team, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe it's a disrespect thing, but it's more just like, okay, let's get better with the heroes that we're obviously struggling with, rather than playing our comfort every single time.
I don't know. It looks pretty try-hard so far with the Wisp coming out first.
But that's their test, right? That's that they're getting the hang of the Wisp still, right? They lost with that game, so.
Oh yeah, I guess they did.
Okay, so this is the 9 cogs.
Yep.
Pick, I guess. So
Hell
you get
yeah.
early souls.
They did this, I think, in what, Pro Dota was it, or was it in one of the other series recently? I know they've played this combo like very recent though, with the Shadow Fiend Clockwork duo.
Is it going to be an offlane clock with them? I think it's more likely than the support clock straight up, isn't it? Or would you?
I would say it would be more likely as the offlane. We've seen the support clock a few times. I think it can work specifically with the Shadow Fiend, but I mean, we'll see. It leaves it open-ended at least.
Ooh.
And they do go for the Bristleback.
They're trying something a little different, as you say.
This is cool. I mean, I think this is a hero that is really strong right now. I think he can still go. I think he's going both, but more than like a Kezu.
More like a Kezu.
We'll leave it there.
You do have a player who was on MVP, and MVP used to run this quite a bit. Yeah. The Bristle IO combo, so that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
And as far as Clockwork goes, we have seen it played more support. It feels a little underwhelming sometimes as an offlaner, just because like you usually want some kind of control, and you're so dependent on that ultimate, and it's mostly like kind of a single target pick-off ult. So maybe offlane Clockwork's not as common, but I'm not sure where they'll go here. But at the very least, Shadow Fiend will start with a lot of souls when he gets into lane.
Where's the monkey?
Yeah.
There's no Monkey King ban. No Monkey King ban or pick.
Now, as you guys said last time, right? Team Secret doesn't really run Monkey King, but they did okay against it.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that they're going for something already, right? With the Wisp Bristle, they already have like a strategy in mind. I think Bristle is a hero that, the few times I've actually seen Bristle played in competitive lately, I think I've seen this hero go godlike pretty much every game. He gets like Solar Crest, and then he just gets unbelievable damage from his Warpath and right clicks.
Yep. But it's interesting that they're pairing it up with an IO, you know? Usually you have like those big stunners, guys that can get really quick kills. Bristleback doesn't kill somebody too quickly, does he?
But this is like the no, he does now with the Solar Crest build. He actually does so much damage, and at least like it gives you that backup thing. So like Wisp can stack Ancients for you, and then you have that extra sustain from the Wisp and the Bristleback. He just turns his back, and with the overcharge and the Quills, he's able to clear it. So it's a duo that's been around for a very long time, and I think it's only gotten stronger.
Okay.
Do you think Kessa will play this Bristle?
I think more than likely, but I think it's still up in the air. I think it leaves a little bit of openness here, draft.
Yeah,
but more than likely.
I'm thinking, is this like some kind of dual lanes, right? Clockwork isn't really that strong of a solo off lane. Is he not really a super strong dual off lane either? So I see potential here for Secret doing like a 2-man lane Bristle and then another 2-man safe lane, you know?
As far as I've seen, the Secret that I like best is when they're playing this kind of pressure thing, right? Like the dual lane, tri-lane kind of thing. So I wouldn't put it past them.
So we see the bans are targeting mid 1, right? Ember, Invoker.
Yeah, I like those bans as well. I think, especially seeing as the IO's revealed, you've got to be very scary of an Ember being picked up as well. It's about to do it. And Secret in return, obviously banning out the heroes that we know Elements are very strong with. Swift Ending.
Yeah.
Very good on the Slark. Probably, as we were saying before the show, his best hero. So
natural Silver Edge
don't mess
carrier.
around with the Slark.
No. Yeah. Should we expect to see maybe a ban on that Tinker? Tinker was pretty impressive, and now it looks like they got kind of a global presence. So
can be an issue for, well, I guess the SF still has the raises in lane, but certainly
Tinker Bristle, right? Like, I feel like that feels a little awkward, right? Bristle kind of wants to like run at people, while Tinker wants to kind of like slow the game down a bit.
And picking it into a clock as well, already a hero that's going to be very good at hunting you down. Could be a little questionable. I think there's still definitely other options that mid one may be more likely to go for this game.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder what Elements. I feel like a lot of teams when we see Clockwork like to go for like the Warlock and such. And I can't remember if Elements were a team that were picking him over again. There's an IO and such, so already you know that they're going to group up. Could be a good support option.
I mean, it's
Elements.
One of the most godly supports at the moment right now, right?
Jack, I see you analyzing very hard. You thinking about anything, buddy?
Just thinking about Warlock into, well, I mean, it's Lamp that's going to have some heal and sustain at least, and some mobility, and so Warlock doesn't really like those heroes that be able to maybe get around and just get on top of them. So, I mean, it's a bit too early to say too much about that draft for now, so they're thinking a lot here in this position as well.
All right. Hey!
Oh, there you go.
Right.
A classic IO counter, you know? Somebody jumps on you, you send one of them back home, or you just hit them both with the Rumble Thunder cage. They're in some pain there. I like the Disruptor pick here.
More catch. You know, now they have a clock and Disruptor for catch at least too as well.
Do you think Elements are gonna look for like a a Silver Edge carrier? Or is that the
Ooh,
Shadow Fiend?
Bane.
Bam.
I think it's a possibility. I mean, these guys, I think they have like their set heroes that they do like to play for the most part, but yeah, I mean, a Silver Edge carrier is always great to have versus a Bristle. I think Shadow Fiend can even go for it this game, like you said.
Bane IO lane, huh, guys?
Well, I think the IO's
The
more
dual-
I think he's
yeah,
probably
the
going to
dual-
go with the
yeah.
Bristle, but we'll
Well,
leave
but-
it. I think he's going to be moving around. He may
He
even
is,
just
he
start
is.
in jungle, honestly, again, with the Iron Talon. This time he doesn't have, like, a Monkey King messing with him like the last time we did see it. I mean, we'll see what he wants to do.
If I'm not mistaken, Secret did run Bane once during the Kiev qualifiers, I believe.
I believe so as well, yeah.
It's a very strong
this-
hero in lane, and also if he wants to come over to that Shadow Fiend, Shadow Fiend's going to start with a lot of souls, but if he gets levels up in the in Feeble, then the Shadow Fiend ends up with very little damage, has to use nukes to try last hit lane, and can't really threaten their mid laner.
that-
Also,
We put Dude.
I think
Yeah.
Doom would probably...
Doom on the offlane and then Clock as the support Clock then?
Probably. I mean,
I mean,
I'm trying to think,
you're
like,
not going to have a safe lane Doom, are you?
No. It's. I think this is interchangeable, but I think that I think I'd rather see LeBron on a Clockwork, something that can kind of run around. That's the kind of playstyle that he is. He likes to make like early gank potential and stuff like that.
Okay.
So Secret goes for a TA. So now they have some incredible amount of minus armor. They have the Goo, the Roche potential too, with Wisp, TA, Bristleback is extremely high, and it's just a great matchup versus Shadow Fiend.
For sure, yeah. You're going to have that good mid lane for mid one
Yeah.
at the start. And he's had a couple of tough mid lanes already today. So
Yeah.
if you can secure him that, as you say, just that what leg up you're going to have as a core hero against the SF.
They ban out the
It's gonna be
Enigma,
pretty
so
nice.
they're now, they're like, okay, they only need left is Kezu's hero. They're
Yep.
assuming this is going to be a core, the one Bristle.
Yeah, and I guess as Jack said, know back to the MVP days. You know, having MP on that man mode, position 1, Bristle, something that they like to do. And I feel like I want to say we've seen it once from them whilst on Secret. I'm not too sure. I mean, it's obviously
Let's
not a
make that
frequent
adjustment,
thing.
right? Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, let's
I think we can do
put
that,
him in
yeah.
a safe lane. I think, some of the elements are assuming, and I think there's definitely right to assume so. But maybe because Secret see the elements are thinking that, they will then say, all right, we will keep Kezu on the Bristle and pick something else for MP.
Yeah.
But yeah, choices for Kezu now, if that's going to be the case. What have we really got here? I mean, Legion could be an option.
I'd like them to have some, some
sort of
kind of
initiation.
fight,
I mean,
right?
they
Some
need
kind of team fight
at
initiator.
the moment, where's your stuns? Where's your disable? It's the Bane.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, and that itself is not necessarily the best. You've just got a Nightmare that can be played around. So Secret lacking a bit of lockdown, essentially. They've obviously got a lot of slow, but that's not going to do too much in terms of controlling elements.
I mean, the Legion can work if they want to do, like, have the Wisp having multiple lanes to kind of go to, but it doesn't really give them great fight.
No.
So, they go for it.
wow.
So I think it is probably,
Yeah.
So we're going to switch the Bristle back up over here.
Elements potentially not expecting this,
Yeah.
indeed, as we saw them ban out the Enigma. Where's my life?
Oh,
And they go
Razor.
for, okay, so that's like a counter kind of pick thing. They go for a Razor as well here. Now for
Show
them.
me that life stealer, Hoenn.
Yeah, we got it. Back of the L's, back of the L's.
So Razor,
So Lifestealer
there you go.
over the boys.
And Razor here.
Oh, wow. He's actually across the river already. That
Yeah.
life stealer's ready to
So
go.
Razor into the TA and Lifestealer, I think it's a pretty, they don't really have anything to break and get them away from the static link. So it's a cool pick.
Interesting.
It's interesting. A massive lack of stuns from both teams. It looks like Bane has an ultimate and a Nightmare. What else we got? I mean, that's it.
Clock does well versus the Bane. That might be something to keep an eye on. But Bane also is usually picked to help bully and win the lanes. So look for that early on. But I like the Razor pick, actually. For we
Safe
talk
lane?
about Razor so much. I actually like Razor
Predict.
against this lineup if he doesn't get bursted down.
How much do you
I'm
like
still
it?
going with Secret, though.
Secret.
Yeah,
Oh,
same
despite-
Secret.
Oh, have a little faith in Elements Pro
Pick
Gaming,
him then.
boys. No, I gotta go with Secret on this one. Sorry, Elements, but hey, prove us wrong and head us on over to the game with Odie Pixel and the main man, Mr. Clarity himself, the Figurative Fog.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and here we have it. Another series, another game, and another very different selection of heroes from both sides. Secret, again, taking what feels like this approach to game one of each of these series with let's test the waters, let's try something a little bit different. And, as we kind of said during the draft, Elements Pro Gaming finishing off with just sort of directly looking at Secret's heroes and saying, well, this is good on paper against that. The question is it going to work out? Doom, Razor, are you liking Element's approach, or are you a little worried for them?
I like the Razor pick. I'm not crazy about the Doom. I don't really see what the Doom was actually. I was looking. I'm like, what do they really want the Doom for? I'm like,
prepare for battle.
Because what, dooming the Wisp or something? That doesn't seem like, you know, like usually when you have like a Doom target, it's like, oh, like Omni Knight, you know? I want to Doom this Omni Knight.
Yep. There we go.
This time in Iron, it's not like that. So here we go. We get the Cogs coming out. We get the Shadow Fiend getting his souls up.
Utilization of a intended feature of Dota 2, approved and stamped by IceFrog. Cogs have souls. And this certainly will help out Ping in the mid lane. I mean, you already mentioned it earlier. TA versus SF. Mid one can have a good time in this lane, but this could certainly even the early few CS. He's getting all the timings as well with the Cogs, so he will have the souls that he wants.
Yeah, at least I think TA is still like probably the best hero to deal with this, because you already have your refraction bonus damage.
For sure,
to
you've
deal
got
with it. And
well.
I'm assuming, you know, we'll probably see Puppy make the rotations and movements around to see where he's gonna play. I think they may even just go for some aggro kind of lane again,
I like
and leave the Lifestealer versus the Doom. Right away, they're smoked up.
They can certainly get a good chance for a kill if they can get a good position on this Disruptor. I mean, looking at Gogi, has to be careful where he heads. The wrong route could spell the end of his life.
Oh yeah, they are.
This is danger territory. Gogi's got to be careful. Secret have read this very nicely. They have pincered him perfectly. Gogi will be allowed to pick up the bounty rune, but he'll almost certainly pay of his life here with the chase down from the Quills. More than enough damage to get Kezu. Oh no, not Kezu, Yapsor. He says, I'm making the plays this game. He'll get himself the first blood gold.
For the bottle.
Bam. Yeah, instant bottle, 170 gold on top. It's great stuff.
Yeah, definitely a good little read there by Secret. I liked MP's item pickup this game too. He went for the Blightstone level 1, so he knows he's versus a Doom. So he's a 1v1 matchup versus a Doom. Doom has low armor, so having Blightstone and getting that 1v1 matchup is going to be very good for him. And it looks like Mitch is just going to straight up go start to the jungle to eat a creep at the start. And that's going to be great for Secret. I mean, now they're able to move their supports around to pressure the mid lane to at least ensure that mid one has a better time. And now Kezu, with that start, he has a win lace as well. He's going for the quick early boots. He'll be able to try to do his best versus this Razor. But we'll be seeing the supports kind of like moving and mirroring the clockwork rotations and just going to their bristleback mostly, because I think MP will be perfectly fine in this matchup versus a Doom.
And as you said, you were kind of wondering what the plan is with this Doom this game. I mean, what is the plan with this Doom? What are we going to see from Mitch? Is certain item build that he's going to be building to benefit the team? Anything that, like, is this going to be a Doom, as you say, is going to be looking to always doom someone in the team fights, or is he just going to be building up the auras, helping the team as a whole?
I guess the auras is probably what they were kind of looking at, someone that can kind of do that. But, you know, when you're playing Doom, playing versus sustain heroes is a little bit harder, because you ideally want to do somebody and be able to chase them down easily. But when Wisp just tethers somebody, he can just heal them up while they're doomed, and they have increased movement speed, so they can just run away from the Doom too. So I'm not really seeing a specific thing into what they picked the Doom like, directly to counter, because it was a fourth pick Doom, and the only things that were revealed were Wisp, Wisp, TA, Bristle,
and Bane,
or like maybe not even Bane. So it's like, I'm not really too sure, but we'll see. Maybe they just really like the hero. Mitch maybe he's just been playing it a lot in the offlane and just wanted to experiment with it a bit.
So far in these lanes, the middle, as you expected, mid one with the lead. Side lanes, slightly high CS for the Razor, but the MP's very close behind. And your two offlaners also very similar in the amount of farm that they're picking up at this stage of the game. So a lot of this feels like it is going to be down to the rotations of the supports to offset the balance. And mid lane, certainly the Yapsor mid one combo doing its best to really limit the start of Ping Vincere.
So this is cool right here. Yapsor is, instead of just laning with the Bristleback, he's getting ready for his stacks. They cut the trees down initially so he can double stack the Ancients and the Hard Camp. So they're going to be using that to enhance their Kezu, their Bristleback for the most part. So it's rather than just, emphasizing the lane so much, he's just like, okay, we can just catch up and farm so much doing this.
And
he's going to miss the Ancient stack, but... oh my god, and he actually takes so much damage from the Ancient steps.
LeBron coming for looking in the mid lane, but again, with Yapsor still in the neighborhood, nothing that LeBron could do to harass mid one out. And the great thing about those stacks as well is there's just no way that Elements can contest them. They don't have any heroes that can take and Ancient Stacks themselves. And of course, going to be very hard to fight around that area of the map. So those are certainly going to be free stacks for Secret.
Mitch is actually doing really well in this offlane just because he has that Satyr creep, so he has that bonus 6 HP regen. So he's actually able to stand kind of toe-to-toe with NP in a pretty good manner for now. That's also because the supports have been rotating so much on the side of Secret. LeBron trying to pressure Kezu a bit. To see Yapster start rotating. He doesn't have any extra bottle charges though, and he's trying to claim himself this bounty rune with his bottle.
Yeah, and LeBron realizes that, sees that the bottle's empty, comes back, and empty no more, as indeed Yapster will be able to grab the bounty before the clock. And they'll back themselves out of their level 3 at the moment on the IO.
Yeah, they can just shrine up to full super quickly. Yeah, he probably wants to go back and fill the bottle, but we'll see if he wants to. He's still just going to hold on to the 2. Kezu's going to walk back and grab a TP.
I was in the mid lane. Ping starting to catch up a little bit with the CS. Certainly still behind, but not as much of a gap as we saw earlier. Now that he's got a few levels in the raises, has ways to clear out the waves himself.
Yeah, it starts to get much easier once you get a couple levels in those raises, as you're saying. His TA with the refraction, even though you have your, of course, bonus souls from that Clockwork Cogs, they did emphasize on bringing the supports there on the side of Secret. But Yapsor trying to get maximum efficiency with those bounty runes. He is going to miss one of the stacks, though, while doing this. But TA trying to stack one with an illusion, he actually ends up missing as well. So not getting as many stacks they like, but at the same time, Kezu is also stacking Ancients for himself on the left side. So they're just trying to stack as much and be as efficient as possible because they have 2 different ways to clear Ancients early on.
What do you think we're going to see from the Raze of this game in terms of height and build? You start with the phase of Keeler. Are we just going to see S and Y starting up, going for the movement?
We've seen a good amount of different variety builds. Mid one actually going to get brought down here by LeBron and the triple raise from Pingvichik.
Yeah, that was some sick raising.
Oh, it's really well done.
Bottom lane, Mitch, a little bit of trouble, but in fact with the Scorched Earth, he's going to be able to run it out as well. So Elements indeed getting that kill in the mid lane, keeping the off laner alive, and I mean that is massive in the middle. Getting that kill with the SF's involvement against a TA that was having the slightly better time. It certainly puts things back on an even table between Ping and mid.
But yeah, for the Razor, I would say just like one of those like stat item builds. We saw a couple different approaches from some players, even like the Halberd build the other day.
Look at this! LeBron, oh that was beautiful.
Oh, LeBron.
He just
is he going to get a double?
I think he is. With the Thunderstrike, Yaps is going to get very, very low, and he's gone. Double kill for LeBron. And that, you can see Puppy there, he just can't cast the brain stat. The cast animation too long between the battery assault ticks, and he just couldn't get the nuke and the heal off.
That is one of the beauties about having Clockwork versus Bane in general. I know the Bane was picked afterwards, but Clockwork versus Bane is probably one of the best because you can just, if you isolate him with Hookshot, you have so many different ways to not let him able to get the Fiend's Grip off because of the battery assault, Cogs, Hookshot. You have 3 different ways to stop it.
I was a little surprised Yap didn't come in to tank one of the battery assaults.
Yeah.
And then you would have been able to brain sap. I mean, I know the Cogs were down at the start, but I don't think they were down for the full duration.
I guess he was afraid because of that DD rune too.
Yeah, I guess he just was worried and thought he could survive. But indeed, at the end of the day, as we saw it, both end up going down. 3 for 1. LeBron heading to the mid lane to pick up some XP.
He's also using his rockets to scout out those Ancient stacks. He's been shooting it toward the Kezu's Ancients a few times. Kezu looks like he's going to be ready to start clearing it pretty soon. He's probably going to wait for his Wisp to make the rotation in. Then turn his back. I
guess at least you can't take them or stop Secret from doing them, but you can try and catch them when they're low. And with some of these creatures, they'll certainly get a little low, but yeah, Yapsor's presence making the situation a lot easier. They'll spot out Kezu, and indeed LeBron starting to head over into the neighborhood, again looking to give Puppy the rundown. Has to be careful, there's a lot of heroes. Kezu's very low. He's coming back into this one. The trap slow from mid-bomb will be there. LeBron just manning up at this area. I mean, it may cost him his life. The Cog push back, bringing Kezu down a little bit, but there's 4 heroes here, and this was a little bit of a suicide mission for LeBron, as he does end up just giving himself away to Kezu, who not only picks up the Ancient stack, but a free kill as well.
A little bit ambitious going for it just himself. He did sap a good amount of experience, though, from it. Kezu actually got, like, not even half a level from that double Ancient stack, because it was being split, like, 4 ways. But he does give up an Urn charge to the Wisp, which is very painful.
8 minutes in, 3 for 2, Kezu. Again, just playing around with the low HP jungling. Absol's got his back. We'll see what kind of item build Kezi wants to go this game. Did he just pick up the Vit booster he did? So brown boot straight into the Vanguard. And already going to be quite a tricky hero to deal with. Vanguard and the backup of an IO in these fights. He's going to be able to just run at them, and at this stage of the game, not a huge amount that Elements could do, apart from maybe Swift Ending, capitalizing on it by getting a good static link off.
Mitch is going to get killed down here for sure this time with this rotation.
Is the regen going to be enough for the Scorched Earth?
Oh, wow.
He's got a fair bit of movement speed, and that Nightmare, he's out of there. He gets himself back to safety. TP's coming through. Secret do not get the kill.
Yeah, that's actually surprising. The extra like healing that he just has from the Scorched Earth and from that unholy aura from the Satyr Creep is just enough to be able to bring him up. Wow, I actually was really expecting him to be able to bring him down there with that with open wound slow.
And now we have on the top one of the benefits against the Bristle. Even though Kezu obviously doesn't need the right clicks, he only needs the quill sprays. Swift Ending does have 100 soul in at the moment. TP will be baited out, cancelled immediately, realizing the presence is not needed there. But Swift Ending does have to be a bit careful. Kezu's going to be able to stick around if he wants with that Vit booster, and very close to having the money for the Ring of Health. And Swift Ending just trying to find what he can here. Playing a little bit on the edge.
Yeah, I think Kezu's build will probably be like the Vanguard Solar Crest build, as we've been seeing a lot on the Bristle. Well, not a lot, but the few times we do see the Bristle, I think it's just incredibly good. Gives you mana regen, gives you just everything you really need on that hero.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And this is a game where you've got cores that are not going to wanting to be building MKB anytime soon.
Yeah.
You're not going to see any sort of True Strike and even a Bloodthorn. That's not an item anyone's going to be building.
So as we kind of expected, also Mitch is going for the auras. You know, he's going for first drums, and then we'll probably see like just Buckler maybe into like just we'll see which ones, but definitely going to emphasize on just getting auras for his team.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Vanguard complete on Kezu. So certainly becoming the issue in terms of tank ability now. Mid lane, mid one, 1600 towards the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he just cleared out the double or triple ancient stack that they had before, so he's pulling a bit ahead over the Shadow Fiend. And we do see Ping Da Vinci. Oh, they do have the hook though.
Yeah, beautiful shot in from LeBron straight in. He's trying to break his way out of the cogs. The refraction's up, knocked back by the cogs. The trap slow will keep him back, but the glimpse is there. And mid one, he is going to die ceremoniously as Ping Vincere summons up the Requiem. Who needs vision when you've got a truck ton of damage?
Excellent read there by Goji, like seeing that he's going to be able to get out and just being in position, getting that teleport in for that glimpse, because he was going to be fine if they didn't come in. And would have been definitely a wasted effort of the Clockwork.
Yeah, it's really nice to see some of these teams utilize the Disruptor. Just a hero that I feel like in a lot of other tournaments gets forgotten. But we're seeing how crucial it could be in some of these games in the early stages to get those kills that would have otherwise just slipped away. Bottom lane, Mitch, as you mentioned, with the drums complete, continues to try and slow down the farm of MP.
They've got Doom, and they've got Disruptor ulti as well. Looks like they might want to build a go on him here with this.
Yeah, MP has to be careful. Mitch very close to just dropping the Doom and ready to go in. Watson in. Still holding on to it. Not quite going to yet go. LeBron is there hidden under the cover of the smoke behind.
They don't see anyone really on the map right now.
So MP's got to play
I think they're a
safe.
little bit afraid.
Yeah.
I think Elements is also just a tiny bit afraid, but looks like they're going to just try to go in now finally with the hook shot.
And again.
Triple ult commitment.
I mean, it's a big kill to get, and they certainly do get it. LeBron with some really sweet angles on the hook shots so far this game.
So they were just waiting for the hook shot to come back off cooldown.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they were going to really go for expending all three, but they really wanted to just make sure that there's no way he survives this game, because they want to be able to kill him and try to game the tower at least a bit.
I guess the static stun was probably the one you could argue wasn't necessary. If you get the hook shot stun into the Doom,
yeah,
and just a kinetic field, he's dead. He's dead. But
just the reliable damage, I guess. I mean,
yeah,
they really wanted that kill, clearly.
Oh yeah, and I guess we're what 12 minutes in. There's only been 7 kills. The pace of this game it's not really reliant on them going for kill after kill. There's almost only going to be no action happening before those ultimates are up again.
Yep.
And of course, with those ultimates off, they'll let Secret take this top tier 1 by the looks of it, as Mid1 and Kezu team up. And
okay, coming in. They found Goji alone, and he gets decimated by the IO Spirits plus Melt combo.
Yeah, we can start to see some players coming out from Mid1 with that blink done.
He's going to be aware that there's vision down there, but that ward's going to be expiring quite soon, because that was a blind, quote-unquote, relocate. But yeah, they saw him with the ward rotation. And I think they saw him place the ward, too.
Shadowblade will be the pickup for SF early on this game. Ping will want to start making the plays. He's got it out to him. Requiem It is available, and level 13, yeah, with the 2 points in it. That's a lot of burst if he gets on target and is able to catch out Secret before they realize that he's got the Shadow Blade done. And he did pick it up in its completion, so Secret, very little information on how close he was and whether he'd even be going for it this game. So we'll see if he can catch them off with it. Mid lane, TP starting to come through. Secret thinking about fighting. Ping's just there on the high ground, waiting for any sort of movement up from Secret. It looks like for the time being it's not going to come. He'll back up to the high ground and wait for the next usage of the Shadow Blade. All whilst this attention is drawn around the mid lane though, MP is getting space on this bottom.
Yeah, he's getting the items he needs. Yeah, the armlet into the Desolator.
That's for me.
Don't think that. I mean, that kill hurts because they were able to pressure the tower a lot, but he's okay still.
Do you like this as well? I mean, obviously, as we just have pointed out by weapons, go for the dual Desolator. Deso on the TA and the Lifestealer. Do they both need it?
I think maybe the Lifestealer might change his mind from it, but I think this hero like needs Deso 100%
Much more than a Lifestealer does. And look at this, Kezu trying to man up, doesn't get the kill. Ping will pop the ultimate. Not going to do a lot of damage against the Bristleback, but at the least, the Secret, well, held back momentarily because as soon as the smoke is ready, they're ready to chase down for more.
Do they have reveal? They do have a dust on Yapzor and sentries on Puppey, so they are prepared for the Shadow Blade. As they just saw it revealed, they even had it beforehand.
And pretty much as soon as we talked about it, indeed, MP's changing up his build. He's going to go for the Echo Saber, and they're going to see the sentry drop. They get the Fiend's Grip straight away onto Ping. Vincere does have the regen off the Shrine, but it's not going to be enough. That's going to be the SF down. LeBron coming across with a hook shot. Traps up Kezu. Do they have the damage? Swift ending. Walking the dog here with a static link. He's going to steal a fair bit as well. Turns around, punches towards Kezu. The Quill Sprays bring them down low. The chase down now. The Lifestealer does not care that he's been doomed, as Secret will end up just losing the Bristle, getting 2 kills for their cause. And mid one.
He's probably pretty happy he didn't turn his armor on right before getting doomed. That's usually the worst feeling ever. He would have ticked down pretty low from that, but...
Oh, look at this mid one's jumping forward. Look at the kills. There's the mail shot. Bam! That's going to be a dead Clockwork. Woo! No escape for LeBron. Legon. And they'll get a tier 1 out of this as well, Secret.
Yeah, very nice movements coming out from Secret. Just reading the movements coming out from elements, just having a faster kind of lineup, faster tempo, or in general. Just being able to take advantage of that. They saw the Rec Loom was being used earlier, so then they're just like, okay, we can go time. That's their big damage dealing source. And yeah, like you said, he is doubling back for the Echo Saber instead. I think it
makes much more sense.
Yeah, I don't think it's like terrible that they would have 2 Desolators by any means, but yeah, you want to be more gold efficient.
How are we looking at the Desolator progress on mid one after that? It's got to be pretty close. He is pretty close.
Yeah. I like how they're not like forcing the Roche either on the side of Secret. They're taking these fights and engagements rather than just being like very stubborn and going for Roche. And they're like, you know what? We have a Tricorn lineup versus a Razor Shadow Fiend lineup. Even though they have a Doom, I think we're fine with taking the farm and just taking this game later. We don't need to really worry about just like 100% going for Roche. Just be efficient as possible, and it's okay. We'll get the Roche naturally after a team fight.
Ooh, mid lane, the go has been made as they step forward with the Static Storm. Take down the Bane. Secret though, wanting to punish, try and go forward, but LeBron's there with the cogs. Brings back as well to pull the TA away from any sort of pursuit that mid one would look for.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now they know that was what Disruptor ultimate used, I believe.
Yeah, got the Static Storm.
So now Kezu's gonna have the Solar Crest finished up. And now maybe they can just go try to take a fight once they have the Deso finished up. And then with Solar Crest Desolator, that might be a chance where they can just smoke into Roche and kill it in like very little time as well.
I think definitely. I mean, they do have to be careful about the hookshot plays.
Yep.
If they want to go now, it would be whilst there's no Static Storm. Doom is going to be back and available in 10 seconds, so that's something they have to be wary of as well. As there is good jump potential from elements around confined positions. Now we're looking on the Deso. Is that done yet for mid one?
He's got it finished.
He's got it finished. There we go. So 17 minutes in, Blink Deso. Very, very good for the TA. But still, as we can see, at the moment, Ping Vincere keeping himself up on the Shadow Fiend. As the Dragon Lance now complete over the Shadow Blade. So extra bit of health that's maybe going to allow him to survive the initial burst of the TA.
Oh, LeBron tried to hook the creeps to get himself out of there, but just off the mark and gets cleaned up by mid one's very
Look at this down bottom. A good Doom here will allow them to chase down MP. A lot of damage being stolen as well. There's no escape for the Lifestealer. As they move in, take the kill. Kezu now looking for a response. Goes in onto Mitch. There's your Solar Crest. You ready for the burst as mid one eyes up the target. Mitch trying for the TP out. They're not actually going to go for it. They don't. Oh, okay, the Nightmare. They'll get it. Hold back the TP, and there's the bam, bam, bam. The Melody comes. Mid one takes him down with one shot. And Can they get any more? Swift Tending's already out. Has the SNY complete. So starting to tank up himself. We're going to see Kezu building into the hood.
That is the one nice thing about having the Doom versus Lifesteal. You know, it's like if he is alone and isolated, you can't Doom him and bring him down. But that's because they saw the relocate happening. They do seem to get aggressive. Elements all respond. They move every hero down to bottom lane. Secret in turn. Decide not to go for that tower.
What is it that we've got being built by the Shadow Fiend?
He was going for Silver Edge next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so upgrading the blade. All right. I mean, I guess as we talked about in the draft, having a Silver Edge carry against the Bristle, certainly a necessity. If you want to have any chance of killing Kezu at this moment. I mean, even with the Silver Edge, it's not an easy kill.
Definitely
with the items he has and with the backup of the Aya. Still the... Oh.
This could be where they just go for getting a couple kills here. They know the Doom's on cooldown, then go for that Roshan right afterwards. They do have eyes onto Mitch.
Oh, that is a dead Doom. No chance at this moment against that sort of physical burst that mid one can offer, especially when he's paired up with MP, and up top, they're not done. They're looking for another. LeBron cogs himself in, but the Fiend's Grip's there for the sidelines. Mid one jumps in for the collateral.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And a second quick, swift
Radiant's
kill.
bottom tower
A
is
seat.
under attack.
Relentless as well. Puppey just pings bottom, and he's like, there's another guy bottom. I'm just going to sit myself up down here. You guys can go for the Rosh. I'm going to push the lane out.
Yeah, absolutely nothing that Elements could do, really. They are
He's
two
going to die
down.
so fast.
They're thinking about it, but yeah, it's so hard. Without the Clockwork and the Doom, they could try for a sneaky kill, but it's almost certainly going to cost them their lives if they come too close. Kezu just mans up onto the front lines. Roshan is already down. He falls down low, will be glimpsed back, but Kezu, they just can't bring him down. He walks it off, and now mid one, he's questioning if he wants to go in and take some kills. He's thinking about it. He won't jump up initially. Ping, revealing himself in the mid lane. But with them hugging the shrine, mid one will hold himself back. No jumping forward today. And Kezu pretty much with the gold for that completed Hood. Hood, Vanguard, Solar Crest. Good luck killing the Bristle. And then you say, well, okay, we'll try and kill everyone else, but then good luck killing people around the Bristle. Kezu is going to make sure that every fight is just so dangerous for Elements to attempt.
He's going for a solo onto Puppey. Puppey gets the sleep off, though.
Oh, he's going to walk it off. The Raze will do it. The Raze will do it, but Ping is going to pay with his life as MP and Yapsor make sure that they avenge Papan.
Bit of a greedy brain sap there, I feel. I think he could have maybe gotten his distance away before he tried to go for that, but I guess he was in fear for his life with the creeps and everything. And if any other kind of rotation, maybe.
Radiant's middle tower
Either way, they
is
do get the
under
kill,
attack.
and it's much more valuable for Secret. And MP actually looks like he's going for an SNY build, so at least he's trying to get some mobility to avoid that static link. Kezu top lane.
Let's see if they can do it. 4 heroes tackling on the Bristol pack. Is it possible? Well, with the Doom drop down, it certainly should be. I mean, it'll still take them some time. Everything being thrown down, and they will get him. For them. Doom and the ultimate there from Razor. Committed for it. There's a big kill. Taking down Kezu. It's always nice. LeBron gets the goal. Gets the dollar. I built as well for MP this game. Actually didn't build the Echo Saber in the end. And there's S&Y.
Yeah, he's going for the mobility, right? To be able to run away from the Razor, just more catch. They don't have a lot of lockdown, as we were mentioning on the panel too, so having this type of chase, SNY is just fine. Be able to get away from
Relocate
Razor.
time. Here comes the Aya Bomb, but it is straight into a static storm. And with that, Elements may be able to do something big with this. They jump onto Yap, so that's going to be Yapsor out and down. Static Link, stole a fair bit from mid one, but not enough. Comes back in with MP and with the Fiend's Grip from Puppey. They control down Swift Ending, seeing they can get more. Mid one, MP and Puppey. Looking to chase, but looks like Mitch will just get himself far enough away. But they won't proceed for any more. Still 13-11. Mid one, of course, running away with the game at the top, being an incredible threat. But Elements are certainly holding themselves into this one.
Yeah, they're definitely like making good use of all their ultimates. Like every single time they've used an ulti, I feel like they've gotten a kill for the most part. But I like also how Secret's, at least in this game, it's a lot more about we're playing with the Wisp. We're going to use the relocate. We're going to use relocate as much as possible to be able to not only get kills with it, but I feel like I honestly feel like this is like them practicing the Wisp a lot this game because they're really like they're very aggressive Wisp relocates and stuff like that. So just definitely getting the feel for the hero and just getting the hang of playing with it is definitely important because it's a whole different playstyle when you play with Wisp. Almost having the mech finished up on Yapsor.
Yeah, and I do like this from mid one, of course. We're pretty standard for the TA, but it's so good. Having a Hurricane Pipe with the Deso allowing you to get those hits in from a mile off, and nothing that they can do as long as you got the vision. And hey, well, it's a good job you got an ultimate that gives that vision and make sure you can get those hits off after you shove them away.
And also being able to push away from the Razor. If you're getting
Absolutely.
static linked, having that is always great. They get the break onto Kezu.
Oh no, LeBron, he misses the hook shot. And that may just give time for Kezu to walk it out. There'll be a nightmare to hold back the clock. And indeed, he's out of there. LeBron blocks our MP, trying to stop Secret from going for any more, but mid one just jumps straight over the cogs. Looks for LeBron, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a dead clock. Clock would out for 30 seconds. And mid one straight up to 2k gold on top of the Hurricane Pike. Mid one having a very convincing performance here. Third game of the day for him, and the TA is looking pretty hot.
YapzOr seemed like he was a little bit afraid for Kezu there. He actually tried to relocate him out, and they broke the tether instantly. So a slight little mistake there, but either way, they're able to kill LeBron.
Yeah.
And keep their pressure going.
Well, Ping looking for the AC now as his next item. Eyes are onto Swift Ending, and here we go. Tries for the TP out there for damage to bring him down. That doesn't matter. They've got a Fiend script to cancel the TP, and that, of course, will buy them the time to take the Razor out. Now, this is starting to look scary for Elements. Losing cores left, right, and center. And this TA getting to the point where she's pretty uncontrollable. I'll be interested to see what he does build, if he feels the necessity to build a BKB this game, or if he feels that the Hurricane Pike is purely enough for him to play around it with the blink. Or because I'd love to see mid one just go full in for the damage now.
I think he's still deciding. I think he's just trying to get a feel of what's happening for the game, see what items people are building, because he does do a lot of different variety builds. I've seen like orchids and stuff. This is definitely not really an orchid game. Okay. So I think Daedalus, maybe Butterfly, something along those lines could be a possibility.
That's Mech. Complete for YapzOr. MP burrow deep inside him. YapzOr has relocate if they want to try and look for a play. Look for a way to get that lifestealer in on that.
Yeah, they've got the mech finished up on the Wisp. He's actually got the infested lifesteal. I love
There
this.
we go.
He's just hasting in. He's like,
See
"All right,
what they can
I'm the
get."
infest bomb.
Here we go. Surprise, boys and girls. Straight in. They look for Ping. The dust is out. So immediately load the static link. MP is being sucked of his attack force. Kezu comes in from the backside. Ping, he'll explode. Gets the ornament out, but he's down for 70 seconds. Swift Ending stole a fair bit of damage. Chases down YapzOr, but mid one coming in on the back lines. He's already picked up a double kill. Poppy, MP, and Kezu surrounding Swift Ending, who will go for the CP out. Do we have any sort of cancel? They don't. So Swift Ending gets out of there. But Elements Pro Gaming, again, another favorable trade for Secret. 3 are lost. Mid one does go for the damage build. He's got the Chrysalis picked up. We'll be looking for the Bloodthorn, essentially.
You know, Penguin Chick was definitely dead, but just that Blade Mail run on top of him during Requiem by Kezu. Ooh.
Nah, I mean, he just disappeared.
He
I
just
was like,
melted
where did he go?
That always feels bad as the Shadow Fiend, but that was definitely a really nice play there by YapzOr, just running in, being the bait.
Trying to do their best to hold here. Elements. Where's mid one? He is farming up their ancients at the moment.
He's going to go for the Bloodthorn anyway. He does. It's like the build that he does a lot of times. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for the Orchid first, but he does go for the small crit into the Bloodthorn, so it's just a better item overall than Daedalus now.
He's got a DD as well in his backpack, so ready to go for some action if anyone dares step near the TA. Shiva's Guard is complete for Swift Ending.
With flair.
It's only going to be nice in some of these fights, making sure that you can get the chase down. A good static link, as we saw, onto either of the cores certainly makes it a little harder for Secret to finish off the fight.
Yeah, he's pretty tanky.
Yeah.
He still is pretty tanky. And they, like we've been saying over and over again, they don't have a lot of disable just to straight up lock him down and bring him down. It's just Fiend Script, that's it.
It's Basher now onto MP, so starting to resolve some of that issue Secret may have had in their lineup as a whole. In terms of lockdown, we'll see. I've seen the Razor get away a few too many times with a straight TP up outside and in front of their noses. Let's see what the players smoke up from Secret. Puppy moving forward, mid one has MP on his back. Ping will come forward with the Shadow Blade. There's the jump forward. That's going to be 1 hero, 2 hero down. Double kill for mid one. The double damage doing a lot. He has been doomed up. He doesn't really care though. He just mans up, looks towards Swift ending. He does get a good long duration of the static link onto MP. A lot of damage being stolen. Puppy's down. Kezu looking towards Swift. The Doom is about to wear out, so mid one's going to be ready to go again. The break's onto him, so minimalizing the damage he does, but it looks to still be quite enough. LeBron ticking down low. He will survive. They'll turn back towards Swift ending, the bigger kill. 3 are down and out on Elements, none of them with buyback available. So Secret with the preparation to go up to the high ground. We'll see what Elements can do to stop this. Ping does have to be careful. I'm sure mid one would love to go for a blink in and a huge amount of physical burst. He's focusing on the structures at the moment. Fortification will come out from Elements. They've got Disruptor back, 5 seconds for the Doom. Mid-Brack's looking in trouble now, mid one. Yeah, he wants some action, he wants some kills. Looks towards the clock, Ping Vincere, that's going to be the first. MP picks up the kill. There's the Hurricane Pipe, bam, 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 from a mile off. Mid one flies in with the Desolator hits. It's going to be 2 more heroes down on the sidelines for Elements Pro Gaming. Secret clean up the middle racks. And they'll look to immediately move up to the top to finish off a second. 2 of Elements Gaming's heroes can buy back, but mid one again comes in with a 1-2, takes down 1. Looks for the mail strikes onto Mitch. Doesn't quite have the vision, so back towards the structures. Orchid on its way out, along with the recipe, yeah. He's got it complete here, 30 minutes in. And they'll just let this second set of racks go. And mid one, I think he's questioning whether he wants to start diving the base. He's got Yabso backing him up. And certainly looking to be that Secret feel that this game is well and truly over. They head straight for the tier 4s. Feel that there's very little that Elements can do to stop this at this stage. And it looks to be that they are absolutely right. As Elements trying to draw them away from the tier 4s, but Secret, they're done with this game 1. They want to move on to game 2. Straight now, moving on to the Ancient. There'll be one more chance for a fight. Elements will let the 5-man back up. Hookshot comes through. Nightmare immediately there from Puppy to hold back the clock, but the Razors falling low. Mid one shoves himself forward with the Hurricane Pike. Takes down 1. Ping Vincere looking for the Razors, but they've already lost 2 on Elements Pro Gaming. Puppy with the Fiend's Grip. 1, 2, bring him down low. The buyback from the clock, but Ping Vincere taken down, but the damage from mid one is too much. There'll be a buyback from the clock. But this game looks to be well and truly over. Mid one diving the base. He takes down an ultra kill. Get in the rampage in the fountain. It's all over and done. The deal is over. Secret seal the win. And mid one again having one of those games. He certainly seems to be the star performer today in terms of Secret, as once again not much they could do to hold that man back at the end of the day.
Yeah, I like their approach to this game though. They started in like that, not aggressive tri lane, but they started, you know, right away. We're gonna get Kezu first blood pretty much, or Yabso first blood, get a bottle started, and just make the moves between the lanes. We're gonna leave Lifestealer 1v1 versus a Doom, and just pressure the other lanes and be extremely efficient. That was their big thing this game. Was like, we can be aggressive, but we're gonna have these stacks all over the place to reliably catch up on. So it was definitely a good approach by them, and yeah, they're definitely getting the feel for these kind of heroes, this Wisp.
Absolutely, yeah, as we were saying, just something a little different in terms of draft. This time it works out for Secret. Can they break the 1-1 curse though? That's the question. We'll see what happens in game 2 between Secret and Elements. But don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because for now, we're going to head back to the panel and see how those boys are doing with their war paint.